Loki Season 2's first post-credits scene is big on nostalgia, but the real meaning is probably deeper than you realize at first. In the grand tradition of most Marvel Cinematic Universe releases, Season 2 Episode 1 has a post-credits scene, following directly on from the daring mission to pull Tom Hiddleston's Loki out of the timeline and stop his time slipping. The first Loki Season 2 stinger is also an important one. Loki Season 2 has already started off strongly, with a complicated storyline injected with a lot of scientific jargon. It's also very obvious that the show is less interested in tying to wider MCU timeline events, and focusing instead on the continued battle for the sacred timeline set up by Loki Season 1's second ending. But that doesn't mean all MCU traits are out the window, with the post-credits scene offering that element of familiarity. What happens in the Loki Season 2 Episode 1 post-credits scene? After the credits roll on Season 2 Episode 1's second ending and Loki has avoided being spaghettified or lost in time, the post-credits scene flips back to Sylvie in the immediate aftermath of He Who Remains death. Sylvie transports herself to 1982, enters a McDonald's, speaks to the young manager and orders one of everything on the menu. How she pays for all of those burgers, fries and nuggets is anyone's guess, but since the marketing has spoiled that Sylvie ends up working at the same McDonald's, maybe she's forced initially to do so to pay off the fast food debt. Or she uses magic. What happened to Sylvie after Loki Season 1? As confirmed by the Loki Season 2 Episode 1 post-credits scene, Sylvie didn't stay in the Citadel at the end of time after killing Jonathan Majors, He Who Remains in Season 1's finale. Having completed her mission, she did exactly as Thanos did, seeking her own personal peace by leaving and jumping somewhere else in the timeline. Sylvie's outfit all but confirms that the McDonald's scene happens immediately after He Who Remains' death. Why Sylvie goes to McDonald's in 1982? The question most will have watching the Loki Season 2 Episode 1 post-credits scene is why McDonald's, and why 1982? For the first answer, you have to consider Sylvie's tragic origin story. As she reveals in Loki's Lamenti's episode, the TVA attempted to prune her when she was roughly 10 years old in human terms. She flees and spends the rest of her life on the run, which, judging by the lifespan of frost giants, would mean she'd probably been on the run for thousands of years. 1982 doesn't appear to have any major significance in Loki itself, but it's interesting to note that Zaniac debuted in Thor number 319 in 1982 ahead of his later importance in Loki Season 2. More importantly, it's what the year means to McDonald's that brings Sylvie to 1982, as revealed by producer Kevin Wright in an interview with Fast Company. The more colorful design of 1980s McDonald's, which was supposed to appeal to families, clearly worked on Sylvie. When we stayed in the view of character, this woman who went on the run as a child had been running through time, a fugitive of time, living in apocalypses, never being able to relax or slow down. The novelty of walking into a 1980s McDonald's looked appealing. She never got her chance of her truly formative years, which would have included simple pleasures like the Asgardian equivalent of McDonald's. Sylvie seems drawn to McDonald's because of the same wonder that made the fast food giants so popular with children.